Yes people, what is good? I am BA, back once again with another reaction to the Deadwood series. This is episode 6 of season 1 now, and it is called Plague. I do not like the sound of this title, especially after that other guy being ill last episode and being in close proximity of a few characters. Hopefully it means something completely different, but I fear the worst. Last episode, obviously the main focus was on the trial of Jack McCall. I can't believe that he got away with this shit and got to ride out of town. We saw Seth following after him. I don't know if he's plans to kill him or what, but yeah, Seth was furious the entire last episode for the fact that Bill was dead and then that guy got away with it, so who knows what's going to happen next. And the other main thing we did keep cutting to was Jane being in close proximity of that ill man who was left outside of the camp. That guy had already been in close proximity of one of the women at the new saloon and a few other characters, so I really hope that this title Plague means something different. Please be something different. Jane better not get the plague, okay? That's all I'm saying, or I'm kicking right off. But of course there is only one way to find out, so without further ado, let's get into this. This is episode 6 of season 1, Plague. Let's check it out and see what it's saying to it. I'm telling you right now, if they make Jane get the plague by episode 6 or something, I am going to be furious. There'll be no Deadwood, there'll be no Wood. Dead no. But then on the plus side, Al might get the plague. Now that I would enjoy watching. He'd make sure he got the cure, of course. There is a cure in Nebraska. So hopefully, like, even if this plague is a bad thing, that cure gets back before anybody dies. Anybody we like. Maybe it means a plague of trees. Oh shit! What the hell? I take it that he's ran into a tribe of Native Americans or something, who'll be furious that one of their own was killed. He's definitely angry about something. This has got to be the friend of the one that was beheaded and had his head brought back to Deadwood. He let Seth get back in the fight. Oh shit, I wasn't expecting Seth to just kill him. This is a brutal opening. I don't know if they were just trying to paint the outskirts of the town as so dangerous, or if that guy was wanting revenge for his beheaded friend. That was a crazy opening.
Give her $1 to wait.
But he just keeps getting sicker.
Shut up.
Oh no, this is the beginning of the outbreak, isn't it? She better watch herself as well, she'll have it.
What fills the rest of your time?
Well, ma'am, I've got myself a working gold claim.
Oh, this is the prospector. So now he's in the other saloon. I thought he was waiting in Al's one until he got word if his bribe had worked or not.
Do you shoot crabs?
No, I don't. But I'm a lethally quick study.
She saw dollar signs in her eyes with this guy, didn't she?
I got a fever. My back's hurt something awful.
Alright, son, just lay up till you get better.
Fuck, this was the guy that was meant to be going to Nebraska for the medicine as well, wasn't he? No!
Have I got smallpox, Mr. Tolliver?
How do I know? Maybe you got yourself a dose.
No, I wouldn't. I'm virgin.
This is going to be a horrible outbreak. I don't want to see this shit. We just lived through 3 real years of this shit with COVID.
I thought I was worrying about the plague.
Why don't you concentrate on running in the bones on Joni's mark?
I don't know why this guy isn't more legitimately concerned about this. He should want to get the antidote pronto.
Tell her I want to talk to her. Trixie leaves, you gain entry, broach the sale.
Oh, he's so crafty.
Smallpox would land at my joint. Yours wasn't the first.
Al should be furious that other saloon never acted on it instantly. He's all about his bottom dollar, and the last thing he wants is his entire town to have a plague.
He wants you over there now.
I'll be there when I get there, E.B.
Oh, she's not falling for it. Even that little plan didn't work. I'm liking Trixie's new loyalty to the widow. I will learn her name, for now she's the widow.
Get back quick as I can. This passes.
Oh, she's got the cramp, hasn't she, from taking that medicine?
Shall the 3 of us leap up on tables and shout questions to one another across the room?
What about the vaccine?
Yeah, Al is handling this more responsibly than this other guy. I never thought I'd be siding with Al over an issue.
Questions in that tone and pointing your finger at me will get you told to fuck yourself.
Oh shit, this guy isn't taking any of Al's shit. These two will have inevitably butt heads throughout this show, until one of them dies.
Are you ill?
Leave the room.
Of course.
They don't trust him for a second. How nosy was that as well, just leaning over into her face and inspecting her?
Breathe.
Doc better be careful as well, the last thing this town needs is him to catch smallpox. Oh, I hope Jane never caught it. I was saying that the entire last episode, I'm aware.
Curd that fucking chop. No, not in my belly, but you're that fucking bloody.
She's not in the best mood today.
Fucking in there?
Oh, she's at the doctor's.
I believe that fucking weight.
I love Jane.
If that widow was high, I am a monkey's uncle.
You may be a monkey's uncle.
Does she act high to you?
I can't be sure. Never seen a rich person high before.
It's a fair answer.
Only suspicion you gotta worry about is mine. Of if you're giving it to her at all.
Oh, I feel bad for Trixie. I hope she doesn't do what Al says here.
That widow better be muddle-headed next time Farnham sees her, you pay.
Fuck Al for this. Why not at least just let her keep the gold plot? It seems so petty at this point. And she's smart enough to know it was Farnham, with his little rat intel.
Will you want me back here for the get-together?
How the fuck could we do it without you, E.B.?
Gotta love that level of sarcasm.
Dolly's with that drummer. Afraid he'd give her plague.
I would say if she was trying to have sexual intercourse with the guy with smallpox, she probably definitely has it.
Life is but a dream.
Life is but a dream.
Her English is getting amazing. You learn so quickly when you're young.
Farnham's here so we can buy you time to get well. You have to fake being high.
I'm so pleased she's not going along with Al's plan. I really like Trixie now because of this.
So any hooplehead who drank from the same glass this guy did have as much right to sit there weeping as you, except I can't kick his ass and send him out to work.
All Al cares about is fucking putting her back out to work as well. What if she does have it and gives it to all these other patrons?
Stick to hand jobs for a day or two if you like.
Oh my god, fucking hell, mate. Al is a piece of shit.
Take those to the Chinaman. Show you want a clean exchange. Say, for Mr. Farnham, woo.
Yeah, Farnham treats the Chinese fella in town like an absolute cunt as well. It's the only time you see him not scared or intimidated, really, and his true character comes out, and he is just a horrible human being.
Out on a hoot.
I've been drunk a while, correct? What the fuck is that to you?
Jane is such a split personality when she's sober. And with that child, she's an absolute sweetheart. When she's out by herself drinking, she is such a different person.
Whore from the gem's with her, too.
The fuck is a whore doing with her?
Widow has health problems of her own.
She might be a bit irrational in this instance, but she has got all the best intentions in the world for caring so much.
How do you feel?
What's that supposed to mean?
How do you feel?
Why?
Yeah, do you have it or not, Jane?
I wanted to fucking...
I will lay you out as soon as look at you.
Jane is so on edge right now.
I was wondering if you might want to come back to camp.
So the doc wants her help, that's cool.
You could do your drinking off work like I do.
She'll help him. Jane's a sweetheart, really. All the other way she carries herself is just like a shield for the world she has lived in and is in.
How are you?
Hope she's good at acting high.
How are you?
Very well, thank you.
She definitely seems high. She's done a good job there.
Well, maybe it'll wait for you.
Of course, too. Maybe it won't, right, Joni?
Is he wanting to take all this guy's money straight away? Because surely you'd want him to lose a little and keep coming back to lose more, rather than lose everything and never return.
7, the winner. The winner is 7.
You sure you don't want to get on me, young man?
I take it he's got loaded dice for when they need to rig the games.
It's a 7.
You better get on me now. I got a meeting to go to and I got a hot hand here.
God, that would be so obvious to anybody who's any bit savvy toward dice games.
You'd do better if the tricks didn't think looking at them made you cry.
This is all just damage control. Go and get the fucking antidote. Man, this guy's coming back to some shit. He doesn't even know Bill's dead. And he's just found Seth, I'm assuming. To be honest, the last thing you actually want to do is bring Seth back to the plague camp right now.
May I ask the meeting's purpose?
Well, he don't get into that with me.
All right.
This guy fitted last episode and seems to be fine now. Was that just some sort of feeling of God so much he let the feeling of God overwhelm his body, or did he just legitimately have a fit?
The 3 red hands on the pony's flank. Those 3 men killed hand to hand.
Damn, so that was a badass Native American as well.
I heard it spoke of 2 days ago, but as often as he wasn't before, I hoped he wasn't this time too.
I wish it was the guy that killed Bill that ran into this Native American. He wouldn't have stood a chance.
Don't you want to take him over the ridge, this fucking holy ground, and put him up there with his headless buddy?
So it was like a revenge thing, which is completely understandable. If someone decapitated my friend, I would want revenge as well.
Trixie did her work and then some, hell. Must have put a double handful of that dope down the widow's mouth.
EB completely bought that she was high. Perfect. Trixie and the widow are legends.
You wait it out. You outlast the cocksucker. I've outlasted several fucking outbreaks. Is it pretty? No, but it passes.
This is a shit way to deal with it when there's a medicine. It is infuriating me no one is right now on the way to Nebraska to get this antidote.
As far as a vaccine, one place we know has it's Fort Kearny.
Bismarck. And Cheyenne.
Okay, this is what I like to hear.
500.
2. You fucking kidding me, EB?
150.
He covered his only a 2 very well there.
It would also be useful to avoid apocalyptic predictions.
Yeah, nip that Sodom and Gomorrah shit in the bud. Huh?
Yeah, 100%. Quite crazy of the priest to suggest that. If he's a true believer, he would want the apocalypse. Second coming of Christ and all that.
Oh, for Christ's sake!
Oh, here he comes with his fitting again. What the fuck is this about?
All right, Reverend. You're doing better, Reverend.
What is wrong with this Reverend? Like, what is it that's causing these things?
You could have just said, Amen.
I think his biblical fit is more epic, though.
You still got an awful smooth hand, young man.
You give a good hand job yourself.
Well, at least he can give that guy shit. No one else seems to want to do it. Al tried and got shut down instantly.
Right now, I'll break her fucking jaw. If we keep talking, I'll break yours too.
This guy is serious. So his name's Cy, so I'm assuming he's a Simon.
Some sort of convulsion or seizure. Perhaps brought on by irregular hours.
So it's not religious, he just suffers from seizures. I feel bad now.
No, the first episode occurred several days ago, after the service for Mr. Hickok.
He's such a pleasant guy. You gotta love this guy.
You are cleared, Reverend.
I'm still confused as to what that is, but it must not be too serious.
You're here to create a fucking atmosphere. Fucking atmosphere you create lately.
This guy is as bad as Al. He's like a second Al, but he looks like he could take Al in a fist fight.
My concerns and feelings of fucking affection.
He showed a little bit of heart there, just a tiny bit through gritted teeth, but it was there.
That's the way I always want to touch you, just like that. Don't make me do it different.
Okay, and back to the threats. There was a little 30 seconds of niceness in there, but then Al's the same, isn't he? Sometimes he'll talk nice to someone and then finish the conversation with a threat. It's how these guys roll.
Pioneer has been assured of their imminent return. That's catchier.
God, just spinning the situation. I understand, these guys both need to make money in their saloons, but if everybody gets inflicted with fucking smallpox, there'll be no one left to waste their money in said saloons. Their primary focus should be to stop the outbreak as quick as possible and get the vaccine as quick as possible so that people can spend their money again healthily. Not that it's healthy to be a gambling addict, but it's healthier than smallpox. Sometimes.
If I was you, or any cocksucker with you, I wouldn't try to stop me.
Be brief.
Be fucked!
But that's fine, I'm told. As soon as she comes in this door, she's going to turn into such a different person.
For your information, Mr. Millinery Sample Suitcase Cocksucker, you're staying in the former room of someone you ain't fit to lick the boots of.
She's the best.
Good luck with your fucking day selling hats.
Oh, she's the best.
Hello, Jane.
Look at you.
She's grown up so fast.
I was so sorry to hear about Mr. Hickok.
Yeah.
she's putting on such a brave face now. She turns into such a sweetheart when she's in the vicinity of the little girl.
We'll see each other again down the road.
I hope Jane ends up looking after this little girl full time. Even though she's a bit of a drunkard and a sweater, I bet she would knock both of those on the head just to be a good mum to that kid.
Where would the doc have got to?
South end of Chinaman's Alley.
Now, Al threatened her before. I wonder if Al would try that again, knowing how much of a loose cannon she actually is.
Turning back this way. That's it.
Don't cough in their faces. Without vaccine, anybody in close proximity of one of these people is in danger of catching this shit.
I'm right where I'm supposed to be.
Even if this guy did catch smallpox, he would be the happiest smallpox death of all time. I don't want to see this storyline get worse. I want them to be done with the smallpox storyline pronto. This is so grim to watch and so reminiscent of our real world these last few years. I could do without another illness breaking out plotline. Nice to see Seth showing respect to the dead as well. That's more than anybody else in Deadwood would have done for this guy if they'd have killed him, except the priest.
Pioneer is assured of their imminent return.
I believe it when I see it.
Dan knows the paper's bullshit.
The idea of creating an emporium for the fucking chinks takes brass fucking balls and a long-term vision for the future.
Oh, Al's starting to respect the other guy now. The last thing I want to see though is Al and Cy working together as a team. They are two ruthless dudes when they are by themselves, let alone as a duo.
As a base of operations, you cannot beat a fucking saloon.
True. Bring back saloons, is what I say. Gotta love a good saloon. Okay, and that was episode 6 of season 1 of Deadwood, Plague, and I will be back in just a minute with my thoughts on that. So, Plague, what did I think of that? Well, it was an unexpected start to the episode, seeing Seth run into the Native American who'd lost his friend and was in the middle of burying him, and then get into a fight to the death with him, and end up bludgeoning him to death with a rock. Was not expecting that shit. Also, Seth's one of the few people in Deadwood that would probably be more considerate to the Native Americans around that camp, and did not deserve that attack. But obviously that Native American had just had one of his friends beheaded, knew it was probably someone from that area and wanted revenge, so you can't blame either of them. And then we got straight into the main plot of the episode, which was just rough to watch, to be honest. After all we've been through in the real world with the world literally changing because of COVID and masks and hand sanitizers and relatives of people dying, you know, everywhere. It's just not nice to see any sort of plotline related to a disease breakout just now. For me anyway, I could do without that shit. It's just rough to watch. Obviously, I was worried and anticipating this result because of the prior episodes with the ill guy, and then him getting put on the outside of town, Jane being in close proximity with him. All these warning signs were there, but then this went right into a worst case scenario where the guy that Cy was sending to Nebraska to get the antidote came down ill himself, so could not go, thus delaying the arrival of the antidote by God knows how many days. Now, they have put a positive spin on it in the papers, but at least they are actually sending out 3 teams of riders to all the known places with an antidote. That is all I needed to hear. I don't know how long it'll take these guys to get back, but they better get back before Jane dies. That is all I'm saying. If Jane is in some way infected by this, she better not die of this disease or I will be fucking furious. She's my favourite character by far just now, and I know it's only been 6 episodes, but I absolutely love that woman. We must protect her at all costs. Al and Farnham are trying desperately to get this widow hooked back on dope, and I just absolutely love Trixie now for the fact that she's playing them at their own game. She knew what they were trying to do. She let the widow know she had to act high. Farnham bought that act, and now they believe she is taking the dope Trixie has given her, while at the same time kicking that shit and taking the powder the doc provided Trixie to keep clean. Obviously at some point it's going to come down to brass tacks and Farnham is going to offer to buy the plot off her again, and she's going to have to in some way tell him to go fuck himself while acting high, otherwise Al will become very suspicious of Trixie, and I don't fancy her chances of survival if Al finds out she has not been given her the dope. And it's so interesting to see how Jane changes, you know, from walking through town swearing at everybody, being so defensive, but then as soon as she got in that room and saw the kid again, she just lit up and smiled, and you can tell that truly brings her happiness. And after seeing Bill die, she's been through so much shit, she deserves that little bit of happiness. But alas, because she's already been, as the doc said, exposed, he wants her to go and tend to the sick people, which pretty much guarantees everybody within that proximity is going to catch this shit. It looks like the preacher's going to catch it, the doc himself might catch it, Jane might catch it or already have it. These riders better get back to camp pronto, because I don't want any of those characters to die. And Al seems to be developing somewhat of a level of respect for Sai. The fact that he was talking about how he's purchased more property in the Chinese district with a bit of, almost impressed tone to his voice, it makes me think that Al might want to work with this guy in future. He already got shown in this episode that you can't point your finger at Sai and tell him what to do. He will literally tell you to go fuck yourself. And then the episode ended with Seth and Bill's friend, who I forget the name of, giving the Native American guy a proper burial, if you will, even though he wasn't buried, a proper death pose, I guess, before they went on their way to try and track down the man that shot Wild Bill. I really hope they catch up to this little prick. I cannot wait to see that guy die. They better not have missed their chance by Seth getting knocked out. Hopefully next episode we see them catch up to him and execute him where he stands. As always though, absolutely gripping episode. I cannot wait to see what happens next. This show is so good. Every episode so far has been so good, so consistent, so well written, so well acted, and it's so immersive. You literally feel like you're being transported back in time and getting a little capsule of what life was like back then. So I guess my only hopes for the next episode is that we see Seth kill the guy that shot Bill, and that the riders come back from these towns with a cure to the plague. Whether or not one or both of these things will or will not happen remains to be seen, but we will have to wait and see next time. If you've liked this video, click like, subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this, ring the bell to be notified as to when they drop. If there's anything you want to talk about, comment down below and share this around to anyone you think might appreciate it or want to watch these reactions along with us in future. My Patreon link is down in the description. If you become a patron, you get access to my blog, you get access to these reactions I put on YouTube a month and a half in advance, and you also get access to full-length versions of everything I react to. So consider becoming a patron, it helps me and my channel out so much, and until next time, I have been BA, peace.